How you doing? This is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV. I'm here with Coach McManus of WSSU football. This is the wrap-up season. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well, Quentin. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. How's the season went for you guys this year?
You look at it, going 9-3, making a run into the playoffs. Another championship. I think we marked off all the accomplishments that we wanted. Obviously, we want to go a little bit deeper next year, but just getting back to the playoffs for the first time in several years was a good step in the right direction for the program.
Okay, what steps did y'all try to take this year that was different from last year?
I think offensively we were able to open up our passing game a little bit more. We had a confidence in our receivers, had a confidence in the O-line being able to protect, had a confidence in Rod being able to spread the ball around, push the ball downfield. And so that made us a little more of a vertical threat, along with a solid run game, finding Carrion and Tavon. Those two guys really took a brunt of the load. We were able to be pretty balanced and efficient at the same time.
Okay. What changes are you looking for next year to do things differently than y'all did this year?
Obviously, you got to continue to limit turnovers. In the quarterback room, we had 10 interceptions on the season, so obviously we want to get those down to single digits while increasing the amount of touchdown passes that we throw. Just from my room in particular, I think we were good. We're good in the red zone. We got to be better on third down. I think our third down efficiency was a little rough, and all that does is extend drives, keeps the defense off the field a little bit longer, gives us more opportunities to score. So I think we can, take care of the ball a little bit better and then do better on third down. We'll continue to be a strong team in the CIAA.
Okay. Are y'all looking for more recruitment this year coming up, or are y'all just going to stick with the guys y'all have this year?
You got to recruit. Recruiting is a lifeline of any football program. It's hard to replace guys like Quentin Alton, who's been a solid figure on the O-line and D-line. But guys graduate. We'll lose some guys to transfer, grade, casualties, unfortunately. So just to keep the amount of people you need in the program to have practice players and have good, solid players to put out there on Saturday, you're always looking to recruit.
Okay, so far since the season is over with, what are you guys doing right now at this point of we doing right now?
Right now, it's been a lot of kind of self-study, kind of catching your breath too. I mean, it was a long, I think it was 13 straight weeks of playing football, and then on top of that, with the long bus ride coming back from New York last week, being a holiday week, it was nice to just kind of catch our breath and get back into the office and clean up emails and things. And now you're starting to study what you did last year. Starting to see what did we do good in the me in particular. What did we do good in the passing game? What did we need to work on? What were some of our best concepts or best route calls that we made? And so now we know that what was good for us, and then what we need to work on so that we can go into the spring and try and build on our strengths and make our weaknesses some strengths as well.
Okay, what was y'all record this year?
We were 9-3, 8-0 in conference.
Okay, how far did y'all go in the playoffs?
Made it to the first round, lost to Long Island University Post, 48-41. Probably needed one more defensive stop to get the ball back. We were feeling it offensively in the fourth quarter of that game, and just needed to get the ball back one more time and give ourselves a chance to tie it up.
Okay, thanks for having me today, Coach.
Absolutely, Quentin. Thank you.
This is Quentin Alton with Rams TV, and we out. How you doing, Rams TV? This is Quentin Alton here with Deontay Mackey, junior football player, offensive tackle, offensive guard. How you doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Okay. How was your season this year?
It was pretty good. I made a huge improvement from last year, my first year here, and I got better as the year went on. I got a lot of playing time this year, and I really contributed to the team this year.
Okay. What was your team's main focus this year?
Our main focus this year was to stay focused and become more as a team, because the year before we would have out of focus moments. So this year was really focused, more team oriented, and kept our eyes focused on the prize.
Okay. What was your record this year?
We finished this regular season 8-2. Then we went on to win the conference championship, which made us 9-2. Then we lost, unfortunately, to Long Island Post in New York. So final season was 9-3.
Okay. As an offensive lineman, what was your coach's main focus this year, as looking at as their players as the season progressed?
As an offensive lineman, as our unit focus was to make sure we dominated 4 quarters. We dominate them, we dominate the ball, we hit them in the mouth, and we move the ball and we give our quarterback time. And as a whole offense, our scheme was just to outscore our opponent, and run our offensive game. And we did that all year long. And at first, we got off to a little rocky start, but afterward, once we got rolling, we was rolling.
Okay, as your offseason is going forward, what are your plans to better your team this year?
My plans to help better my team, but also better myself, which is me to get stronger, get more, lose a little bit weight or gain a little bit, but get more stronger, and just as a team, just work hard in the off season, because off season is where it starts.
Okay, how far did you guys go in the playoffs this year?
We went to the first round. This is like our first time going, and I want to say in about 4 years. So we went to the first round, we lost 48-41. So next year we plan on, if anything, making a run for the championship and go farther.
Okay, how did it feel after winning the CIAA championship this year?
It felt good. I mean, ask anybody to go to win your conference championship. That's the first step, and to win a national championship, win your conference. And we won our conference, but at the same time, we wasn't satisfied because we wanted more. That's something that always great to have. We're happy with champions, but we also want to be national champions. So,
okay. Tell me a little about your coaching staff. Were they working together this year? Did you see any improvement this year from last year, or what did you see different?
Well, I felt like we had way more fun this year. This year felt like the coach was more involved with us. Everybody was more loose. We had fun. Like we'd be on the road. We'll have a cipher and stuff. This felt like it was more hands-on. Like we just had more fun. When you're having fun, things come easy.
Okay. Thanks for having me today, Devontae Mackey. Thank you. All right, this is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV, and we're out. How you doing? This is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV. I'm here with defensive coordinator Todd McComb. How you doing, Coach?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Okay. How was your season this year?
It was very, very, very awesome to be with the Rams this fall 2016. They had a great year, ended up 9-3.
Okay. How was it with your first year as a defensive coordinator?
It started off very challenging, just figuring out how to manage young men and manage adults. But by the end of the season, I think we had a great opportunity to lead here at Winston State and represent defense well.
Okay. What are some things y'all could have done this year to improve your game?
Basically, just overall pursuit to the ball, executing calls. Those were two big things that I preached to the guys throughout the season. If you bring one of them in here right now, they'll say execute the calls and run to the football. So we got to get better at that for the 2017 year.
Okay, what was your main goal for this year as a unit?
Main goal was just to execute the calls and always pursue to the ball. It's a common thing no matter what. If we execute the calls and get to the football, we're successful. So we did that in 9 of the 12 games, and the 3 we did not do it in, we didn't do so hot.
Okay, how was it? What was the feeling like after your first CIAA championship ring as a head coach?
Well, it was very emotional for myself. Very, very emotional to see all your hard work and your vision and what you're trying to coach young men to do, actually execute it. It felt very, very, very good, warm inside to actually see a plan come into play and be successful.
Okay, as the season is over, what are your goals for the off season?
Well, the goal for the off season is just like any program, find good ball players to help in and complement the ones we already have. We'll be going after every position because we need some difference makers here at Winston State to help us repeat or three-peat as the CIAA champ. So that's our goal. So it starts with recruiting, and has always been going on. So we just got to get those young men in here in January, show them what we have to offer, and fill them out a little bit, and then see what it takes us for the fall 2017.
Okay, can you speak a little bit on the Rams tradition that you spoke on a few minutes ago? What exactly is the Rams tradition?
Well, Rams tradition is a top defensive program. That has happened under the previous coordinator, who is now our current head coach. Under his tenure here, they were tops in the country in every category. So that's something that I would like to have our guys get to, where they're the top in the country, not just the top in the CIAA, but I want them to be top in the country. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in the country. So that's a national out of 177 some schools. I want to be in the defense, and the coaches and the players want to be number 1 in the country when it comes to total defense, scoring defense, yards per game, so on and so forth. So that's our goal going in 2017.
Okay, thanks for having me today, Coach.
All right. Yes, sir.
This is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV, and we're out. How you doing? This is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV. I'm here with John Lavender, one of the sports medicine instructors. How you doing, Mr. Lavender?
I'm doing well. How are you, Quentin?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Okay. How was the season for you guys this year?
Very busy. We have experienced a lot of unusual injuries. Fortunately, though, nothing as like last year. So even though we were busy, it wasn't anything we could handle.
Okay. What was your position on the team so far as medical-wise?
I'm one of the assistant athletic trainers here. So I work in conjunction with the director of sports medicine, and the two of us are responsible for football, primarily in the fall, and we cover all of the student athletes, things from the physicals all the way to their injuries, and if they have to have surgery, the rehabilitation afterwards.
Okay. What are some injuries you've seen this season?
This season, we've seen a lot of knee injuries, torn ligaments, couple broken bones, things that you normally expect for a football season. Other things beyond the orthopedic nature is we deal with concussions. We are one of the 2 schools throughout the United States that have been selected as far as a Division II school, and the only HBCU in the United States to participate in a national concussion study that is dominated by the NCAA and the Department of Defense. It's a longitudinal, long-term study looking at concussions and how we can better treat them.
Okay. What are some things as an athletic trainer that you can do to prevent some of these injuries that we have this year?
Well, one of the best things that we can do is deal with our strength and conditioning coach. By the athletes being stronger, their bodies can sustain a little bit more hits than someone who, fortunately doesn't have the ability to have a strength trainer in their camp. We also can do a lot of hydration for student athletes. Injuries occur when you get tired because then your body just kind of relaxes and you don't focus as much. So we can work on nutrition and hydration. That can be a very big key to injury prevention as well.
Okay, thanks for having me today, Mr. Lavender.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, this is Quentin Alton with Rams TV, and we're out. How you doing? This is Rams TV. We're here with Quentin Alton. I'm interviewing Mark Heineke, the head strength and conditioning coach. How you doing, Mr. Heineke?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Can you talk to me about this season? How did the season turn out for you guys this year?
For the most part, it turned out pretty good. Obviously, we won the CIAA championship. That's a goal. Won the Southern Division for a 6th time. That's a goal. And we made the playoffs. It would have been nice to go a little deeper in the playoffs, but we got a little bit banged up near the end of the season. That may or may not have cost us as we got into the playoffs.
Okay. Are you primarily the strength conditioning coach for football only, or are you for all the sports?
I train all the sports, sir.
Okay. How long have you been here?
I'm almost done with 5 years. I think January marks 5 years being here.
Okay. What are some things we could have done this year to improve the team, do you believe?
I think a lot of it, we started off a little slow. There wasn't as much team unity and communication, but I think as we got deeper into the season, the unity and the team became more of a family. And early on, I think discipline was a little bit of an issue. You have a lot of new kids not knowing what the Rams football was about, and so we had to instill upon them our tradition, our values, and it took a little bit of time for everybody to buy in.
Okay. What do you think you could improve so far as strength and conditioning going on to the next season of this year?
I think the big thing is just attendance and getting guys to buy into what we're trying to do. A lot of kids come out of high school and they're all upper body guys, and a lot of football is played with the lower body, legs, and hip explosion. So trying to relay why that's important to them and having them buy in from that standpoint, and just going over basic fundamental movements that are going to help them explore or expand upon their strengths and cut back on their weaknesses for when they get onto the football field, and then doing whatever we can to try to cut back on some of the injuries. Football, is a collision sport, so you're going to have a lot of wear and tear, and just 13 straight weeks of playing is going to wear down the body. And I think if we can find a better way to prevent that, that's going to help us. And when we went 14-1 way back 5 years ago, we had 1 or 2 injuries the whole season. Nobody missed any games, and that's always going to be a key, is trying to get to the point where no one's missing games due to injuries. And that's always the $1,000,000 question. How can we do that? So basically going back, looking at what type of injuries we had, and seeing what I can do in here to help minimize those injuries as we move forward.
Okay. What could you say your philosophy is as a strength and conditioning coach?
Basically, I like leg strength and leg power. I'm an Olympic guy, so I love the cleans and the snatch, but I also love the deadlift and the squat. Everybody always wants to talk about power, but overall strength and force production is going to be one of the predominant things when we're talking about power. If you can't produce the force, you're never going to be powerful. So if I can get these guys all squatting above 500, even though the running backs, wide receivers, little guys, there's a better chance they're going to be powerful. If I can get them deadlifting over 400, 500, they're going to be powerful. And then, like I said, I'm an Olympic lifting type guy, so I want everybody cleaning 315. In all my years, especially with football, I've never had an All-American that hasn't cleaned 315. I'm not saying that's a gold standard, but even in other sports, when I did lacrosse at Maryland, 315, the guys that cleaned 315, they were all conference All-American type guys. And wrestling was the same way. So there's something about the more you're cleaning, the more it translates onto the field. But once again, it all goes back to, if you can't deadlift, if you can't squat, you're never going to be able to clean.
Okay. Anything specific that you want to enhance or instill in your players this year coming up?
I think the biggest thing, and you talk to just about anybody, it's always going to come down to discipline and mental toughness. We don't want guys jumping off sides. We don't want stupid penalties that are going to cost us, and we don't want guys that are going to quit in the fourth quarter when we get down. So I try to use that, especially on Fridays, usually our high volume days. We're going to see who wants to put forth the work and who's going to try to push to the very end. So Fridays are always our real tough days in here, and then once again this year we're going to have our morning run-ins on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and once again that's a mental toughness thing, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, walk through the cold, dark morning to get to DJR or wherever we're running, and it's a mental thing. And once again though, we're still trying to improve athleticism, so it's a balance trying to get them mentally tough and still improve their overall athleticism.
Okay, thanks for having me today, Mr. Heineke.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is Quentin Alton here with Rams TV, and we're out.